Alright you guys, what is going on? Welcome back to channel Anderson, and I'm sorry, but this video might catch you a bit off guard. So, as you can see from the title, it is true, we are indeed selling the manual swapped E420. And as much as a surprise as that might be for you guys, let me explain, let me kind of give you the whole process and the whole walkthrough of how and why it's happening, and just kind of my reasoning for the changes that are going to be taking place. So I guess the best way to start is kind of the backstory of how I ended up with the E420 for those that don't know. Basically, I have been looking for a C36 for a long time. Nearly got one, and then basically struck out on kind of a weird deal that fell through. I had never had, believe it or not, a 124 on my radar. Sorry, something in my eye. I swear I'm not crying, but I, probably could be. But anyways, I had never had a 124 on my radar, truthfully. I'd always kind of liked them, but just the ones I grew up around seeing, it never called to me as much as the 202 and the 201. So when I struck out on that C36 long ago, and I'm glad I did, honestly, looking back on that car, because it was a basket case, and having the one that I have now is, I could never have gotten the old one that I struck out on to the level that the one I have now, even for the same amount of money that I have into the new one. So anyways, very glad I struck out on the car, because it then led to me buying the 124. I got a phenomenal deal on it at the time. I feel like right after I bought it, people really started to pick up steam of understanding how special the V8 124s are in the E420, the E500s, 500E, 400E, etc. So I really got in a good time, bought it from the right owner at a really good price, and I never had a clue that I was going to be manual swapping it or doing any of the projects that I did with it, really. It just became like this cool, older Mercedes daily driver for me. I bought it with no first gear functional, so I kind of knew it when I bought it that the trans may be going out. But honestly, I drove it like that for months and no problem. I just had no first gear. But the car got me back and forth to work reliably until, some moisture and things like that started to collect and show how bad of condition the harnesses were on the car. The lower harness and most notably the throttle body were absolutely in distress. The throttle body video, you guys can go see the rebuild on that. It was insane. The wiring harness was absolutely just falling apart. So anyways, I've sorted pretty much everything on it, and the manual swap obviously has made it into a fantastic car. It was my daily driver for all of last year, sharing time with the ML63, which is also now sold. But now the C36 has really taken over the daily duties. And I love the 124, but truthfully, you guys, after I got the C36, I kind of knew that it wasn't the car that I wanted to keep pouring kind of attention and modification into. And don't get me wrong, please don't get mad at me, you guys, but I really do love the E420 and the E500s. They're phenomenal cars, and I think the 124 is probably one of the best cars ever built. But life's short, and I want to try other things and experience other cars, and when I got the C36, it made it that much more expendable and made me start kind of thinking about it. And then when I knew I had the plans to build the 190, it kind of really fell in place. All right, well, if I have the 190, that's like the baby version of the 124 for sure. It's literally the baby Benz version of it. And then I have the 202, which is also, very similar, not at all the same, but, it was just enough to kind of quench that thirst, that type of car. Very different from the E420, but still enough to leave me satisfied with. So that's where the idea started taking place. And then I started kind of putting feelers out there, posted on the 500E board. I never made an official for sale listing because I didn't want it to go to somebody random. and I just kind of mentioned it on my stories a few times, mentioned it, like I said, on the forum in one post that I was considering it. You guys know that I previously had plans. I got the 5-liter motor for it, and previously I had plans to upgrade to that 5-liter M119. But the more and more I thought about it, and with all the other things that I have in mind for this year, some of which you guys know about, some of which you guys don't know about yet, that are for sure things that are happening, it kind of started to feel like a chore imagining doing the M119 swap, just because, I mean, I know it's straightforward, it's pretty much plug and play, but it's still work, and it seemed like a lot of work for me for what I've already done to the car. And I just don't think that amount of work was going to get me the amount back that I wanted in the car. You know, it's a little bump in power, but for me, and I know it sounds silly because again, it is pretty plug and play, it's still work. Engine swapping is still work, and the work wasn't worth it for me in this case for this car. It's already plenty enjoyable to me the way it is with the 4.2 V8 and the 6-speed. So I couldn't really sell myself on that, and that was kind of the last chopping block of it's ready to go to somebody else, because I just don't know what else I'd want to do to it, to be honest, unless I went absolutely crazy and, like, you know, did a turbo build or something, and I'm just not interested in doing that. So that kind of all boiled down to, if you guys remember when I went down to San Francisco over a year ago now, and made a good buddy, a good friend of mine now, but at the time a complete stranger, in Stas. And Stas has his own, you know, collection of cars, some really cool stuff, and he has buddies around with, you know, full professional shops, and they're doing some really, really cool builds. And his hospitality to me, like, first time meeting me, literally lets me hop in the 190E Cosworth, a German import, like a rare Cosworth, and rip it with him down to Half Moon Bay in San Francisco, those of you that know the area, and then drive his E34 M5 on the way back. It was just like a super cool car guy day, still like one of the most fun car guy, absolutely random days that I've ever had. And we just became good buddies after that, and, you know, we talk all the time with different car projects we each have going on. And you know, he had mentioned that he really wanted to find a clean black on black 124 sedan. And you know, he has a 500E himself, a very rare one with very low miles that he's kind of hanging on to. But he wanted one that he could build and use some AMG parts that he has, body kit, etc., and make, you know, a proper, like, driver car. And finding these black on black is hard nowadays, and a clean one at that. So this car, it's clean, it's rust free, like literally just needs the hood repainted, and it's in good running condition, all that stuff. So it kind of lined up. We came up with a price that worked for both of us, and, you know, still made the deal of, like, if he ever wants to sell it, I'll be the first one to buy it back. So it's one of those deals, you guys, and something like that was exactly what I was hoping for, looking for. I know I could have got more money for it if I put it on an auction, or I, you know, made some fantastic posts with professional pictures and all that stuff. And for me, it's just not what I intend to do. I mean, certainly there'll be more builds like that in the future where, yeah, all I want to do is profit off of them. But for this car, it's given me so much, and I got it for such a good deal that the price that we agreed at was really fair on both sides, and I'm happy with it. So I know where it's going to live. I'm going to be able to get to see it when we go down to San Francisco to visit family, and it'll be cool to have Stas kind of update me on the whole journey and process of what he's going to do with the car. So he is going to take the car, and we're also going to ship the 5-liter M119 down to him. So he's planning to swap it. He did consider M113 swapping the car at first, but I think he's planning to do the 5-liter swap now. So yeah, sorry this is a long talking intro, you guys, but I just wanted to explain it. It's the first time any of the cars that I've really, like, built have been sold. The ML63 was the first time I sold a car off of the channel. that has been significantly featured. But I mean, I guess I did tear into that one quite a bit too. But the E420 is something completely, you know, like, not custom, but I guess custom, completely one-off compared to the MO63. So it's sad to see it go, but at the same time, I'm happy because I'm kind of continuing to get the ball rolling, and I think you guys will be really excited for the rest of what this year has in store. Like, you guys have no idea right now. So it's I don't feel as sad because it feels more sweet to know that it's just a chance to keep evolving. And with this thing in play, and this thing in play, and the Benzin on a Budget project, also, by the way, go check out the tees. Really happy with how these turned out. So yeah, just everything that's on the way for you guys. I just think that you might be sad in the moment learning that the E420 is gone, but you'll be okay knowing what's to come. So I'll be okay, we'll be okay. Channel's got to keep growing, keep evolving. So sorry for the long speech, but had to explain. So that said, I'm gonna go ahead and get the car fired up. They're gonna be here tomorrow. Actually, it's Thursday night right now. They're basically driving through the night. Him and a buddy are driving up, and they're gonna drive back down together in 2 cars. So gets to relive its young glory days. It's from there originally. It only had a few owners when it was in San Francisco, and it stayed there the whole time. So yeah, gets to go back with Stas and get revamped into a whole nother thing. I know I'm excited to just kind of see it continue to evolve. Even though it won't be in my hands, it'll always feel like my baby in some way, just because we, you know, Mike and I, my stepdad and I, put so much time into the manual swap. I put so much time into so many things on the car, the wiring harnesses, the kind of front of the motor, dissecting and resealing and all types of little things. So it's a great learning experience. M119 is a fantastic engine. If any of you guys out there are ever thinking about getting one, it's phenomenal. And it's been, that and the C36 are by far the best daily do everything cars I've ever had, and probably will ever have. They are so comfortable, so capable, so much fun, and just tanks. So you can't go wrong. If you get a nice 124 sedan, whatever it is, I mean, any designation, they're cool. But especially if you got a chance to buy a V8 one, yeah, they're a good time. So I am absolutely rambling, but it's dark out right now. It's sitting right here. I'm gonna fire it up. I fired it up like a week ago because I moved it to this spot. I'm gonna fire it up and just chill with it for a little bit, you know. I might take it on a little cruise out here and then bring it back, and tomorrow before it leaves, definitely gonna give it a wash. And I also got to load it with a bunch of spare parts that I have. I got a bunch of stuff in the Amazon box right there. Engine cover, that's just a spare grill that I have, I'll keep around. But any other parts that I have, I'm gonna throw it in for Stas, and then grab anything out of the car that I know is mine. So sheesh. Man, also one of the coolest, sorry it's hard for you guys to see right now, but one of the coolest steering wheels I've ever had. This Momo wheel is so dope. I told Stas once he gets another one, please send it back to me because I want to put it in the 190E. And of course, the custom Andersen shifter. I told Stas too, please, if he ends up switching this out to something else, send it back to me. That's kind of an heirloom of the channel. So anyways, let's try to fire this thing up. Like I said, it's been sitting for a little while, but it literally was sitting for like a month before this and just fires right up. Definitely needs some petrol. Yep. She's a champ, guys. Man, I'm gonna miss this car. Alright guys, well, I'm gonna take this thing for a little cruise, just kinda take it through its paces, get it up to speed. Man, even as dirty as it is right now, you know, I said I wasn't sad. Hopping in this thing and driving it just made me sad. Oh my gosh, this thing's so cool. Sheesh. Alright, you guys, and most guys wouldn't even show you this on something that you're, gonna buy, but this is actually just me doing some little maintenance of things that I know are an issue on the M119. When these things sit for a long time, you guys, I don't know if you'll be able to see, but moisture collects on these rotors. I mean, it's been summer, it's rained a few times, but like no matter what, moisture gets into these and it just causes weird issues. So to avoid that, for sure, so Stas can have a nice ride home, I'm gonna clean these out and clean up all these points, just make it nice and pretty for him so that no issues on his way home. The rest of this thing is, I mean, I've gone through a lot of it, so yeah, it's just one little thing that I'm doing just for Stas. He's my buddy, and just want to make sure there's no issues with these. And definitely glad checked them, because if I drove this, like if I had time to drive it right now, go on the freeway without stopping it and just 80 miles per hour, clear it all out, this stuff pretty much just dissipates. But when you do what I just did, like take it on a short drive and then stop it, that's when it will become an issue the next time you try to start it. So to avoid that, I'm just cleaning these up. Alright guys, those are all put back together, nice and cleaned up. So let's go ahead and give it a test fire and then call it a night. Oh yeah. And it might be a little funny just because it got those taken off and put on, but we'll see. Also need to get some gas for sure. Yeah, much happier like that, guys. So if you have an M119, always check your cap and rotors for moisture if you have any type of weirdness in your drivability, idling, etc. So I'm gonna let this thing idle for a little bit and then catch you guys in the morning. Alright you guys, it's the next day. They're officially on their way right now. They should be here in a few hours. Made it all the way from San Francisco, so long drive. I'm sure they're gonna be tired when we get here, but I'm gonna get this thing cleaned up, at least, sprayed off really good. They're obviously going on a long road trip, so it's gonna get all dirty on the way home, but I'll at least make it presentable. The inside's clean. I always kept the inside of this car pretty clean, so vacuum it up a little bit and just hose it off and scrub it down a little bit. She'll be good. I'm not gonna lie, today was a weird feeling knowing that this thing's officially leaving today. We've kind of made this deal probably more than a month ago now, so it's been like a long road leading up to it, but it's finally happening. And at the same time, there's something else that's big that's taking place today, so kind of crazy. You guys will find out about that soon, but anyways, I'm gonna get this thing cleaned up and I'll check back with you guys in a little while. Alright guys, we're in the middle of it going to its new home. We got Stas here. You guys have seen him on the channel before.
Guys. How's it going?
And we got Russell. Don't swear, man, alright?
His English is not perfect still, so,
I don't know English language. I know only Russian language and our language. You understand what I say, you?
Yeah, perfect. Alright guys, Russell, right?
Yes.
Okay, so Russell's here with us. They drove all the way up in the Civic back there from the Bay Area.
It was a fun drive.
Yeah. So they're taking it all the way back where you guys saw me meet Stas for the first time and drive the 190 and the E34 M5 and I don't know, 540? What is it again? I can't remember.
Yeah, that's 540.
Yeah, 540.
But soon it's gonna be the S62 swap. I
oh
got
yeah.
the engine, so
yeah. So
we'll be soon, hopefully. Yeah.
He's the new rightful owner of the E420.
But the story will still continue.
Yeah.
Stop. I have a question for you.
Don't worry.
Do you have a BMW?
Cut. So yeah, I got it cleaned up for him. My pressure washer decided to die, so I was washing it by hand while they pulled up, but it's all loaded up with all the parts that I have for it. Stas has got big plans for it. Like I was telling you guys, he's got a lot of like rare AMG parts that he's going to put on it, and it just gets to change hands and kind of keep evolving to another level. So
Yeah, well, if you guys interested, you can. I have also like small YouTube channel. Probably I will put
yeah,
the car in.
we popped it up already. Yeah, you guys know. Yeah,
So it's gonna be a project. So we're still gonna finish this car and make it like really nice. You will see it.
yeah.
It's gonna be something.
You gotta use your muscles, man.
AMG mods.
Yeah, there you go.
AMG mods for sure.
Yeah.
Go Hasanit.
Go Hasanits, it means.
You know Hasanit?
Let's go drive.
Go for drive.
Yeah.
Yes,
like
go crazy drive.
Oh
Hasanit.
yeah, like the video you showed me.
You know Hasanit.
Hasanit.
Yes, Hasanit.
Like send it.
What is send it? Что такое send it?
Yeah.
People like making some hard.
Yeah, like go crazy with it. That's it, guys. All cleaned up. Still shines up nice besides the hood, but it's in good shape. Going to good hands and frees up the possibility for us to try some other things. So, all right, guys, we're loaded in. Stas going for his first drive. Let's go. You go right.
Right.
Yeah. Getting a feel for it.
Oh, that's a nice.
Doing a good job, right? Yeah, it feels good.
That's a nice shifter, actually.
Yeah. Yeah, you'll
It's
get
like
used
not
to it.
too harsh because I've been driving before, like like kind of not a sequential shifters.
Yeah.
But I was called,
Hard shifters, yeah.
Some of them they hard, man.
Yeah. Now we can go left here. All right, guys. Next morning, we were hanging out yesterday. Took him around, showed him around a little bit. Had some pizza, thanks to Stas. So they're getting ready for the long journey back home. You gotta use your muscle, man.
Very good.
It's a tank. So, yeah, we drove it around, as you guys saw in the video yesterday.
Yeah, the Benzi will be in good hands.
Yeah, so
So
it's gonna be really happy going on a long drive, as most.
I'm kind of excited too.
Yeah.
Yes, long drive. До первого столба.
So
Yeah.
but we'll take care of the Benzi, and the story is not over.
Yeah, no, it's gonna continue. So, yeah, we got plans. We'll definitely see it. You guys know we always make Bay Area trips, so next time we're down, we'll link up with Stas and see where it's at. And yeah, I guess
Yeah.
it's the end of the journey for now.
I
Take
know.
care of it. We'll get to see it happen. And you guys go check out his channel, like you guys saw. Link in the description, and we'll pop it up on screen. But that's about it.
Yeah. For right now, yeah.
Yeah. Any last words, Russell?
Yes, he have big problem. He have 4 liters and manual. Me.
Yeah, add him in, that's a problem for us. So that's it, guys. The last clips you guys will see is probably them rolling out. So that's it.
Yeah.
Another car gone, but it's going to good hands. So
All right.
thank you, guys. All right, guys, got them fired up. Got the E420 heading out and their Honda. Thanks again to Stas and Russell. That Honda, by the way, guys, Stas bought it with 11,000 miles on it. It has like 20,000 now. It's crazy. 2,000 EK hatch, 11,000 miles, and he bought it. Crazy. Yeah, they're going for the long drive. They're gonna cruise around a little bit, go explore the city, and then head out and just have a fun drive home. I bet that car is gonna be happy flying on the freeway all the way back. It's official, guys. Oh, Russell's driving in the trees. Hassani! Oh man. Alright, and then there was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, which will eventually be 5 once we get the engine out and put it into that Whew. Alright, you guys, wanted to close this video out. It is actually Sunday night now. Stas and them left Saturday morning, and thankfully made it home safely. Stas did discover a small, like a pinhole leak on the radiator, I guess, on the side. I've never noticed it, never had an issue with it, but thankfully it held while they were on the way home. He noticed it like halfway through the trip, so he just grabbed some water and made sure he had it on deck. But yeah, made it, no problem. He did lose a corner light on the way home, which is kind of funny, but he was going to swap them out to orange anyways. And just overall, he has a lot of big plans for the car, and like we talked about in the video, a lot of really cool like original AMG parts for the car, and a lot of parts that he's having made. So I just think it's going to be a really cool like next chapter for the car, and that's one of the main reasons why I was comfortable letting it go. Stas is a good buddy of mine. We've helped each other out with a bunch of little things here and there throughout the years of knowing each other now. And the last part is I know that it's going to continue on and become an even cooler version of what it is now. So yeah, just overall, I'm okay with it. Like, especially some time later now, like I don't feel like I don't have that like sick to your stomach feeling like, oh, I shouldn't have let it go or anything like that. I feel comfortable and calm, and just yeah, happy to keep evolving and happy to try some new things out. So having that thing with Stas now clears some room over here, and you know, we got some plans. So that's all I really say. But just wanted to say thank you to Stas and Russell for driving all the way out here, for Stas hanging onto that transmission for me for so long. I think I mentioned in the video, but Danny plays the cars. You guys have seen him on FCP Euro's videos, etc. Works with FCP Euro. Was the one who told me about that manual gearbox that Stas brought up. So thank you to Danny as well, if she's watching. But yeah, just overall, hope you guys are not too disappointed, and hope you guys trust that I got some good things planned. Not as a replacement for that car. I feel like that car is definitely one of one. But things that will fill that void in a good way, and plans for the other current cars in the fleet that will fill the absence of the E420, and you know, let us keep going with all this. So it's not a sad note at all. I'm happy, I'm excited to just let everything keep evolving and see what else we can get into. So a lot going on right now. You guys know we have the Benton on a budget, you know, 2 cars that we're piecing together as one. You guys will have an update on that soon. I'm sorry it's taking so long, but I just don't want to put out the videos just to put out the videos. I want them to actually, you know, hold a good amount of content for each episode. So I'm not going to rush that. CLK should be back up soon. And yeah, besides that, be ready, be on the lookout. Something special will be announced this week, I'm sure, probably by Friday. So be on the lookout for that. And yeah, to all my 124 heads out there, love you guys, and thank you for all of the advice and encouragement with my E420 since I've had it. And yeah, it was definitely cool to own that car. And I will say right now for sure, it won't be my last 124 that I'll own. I would love to build a wagon. So yeah, let the good times roll, and I will catch you guys on the next one. Thank you so much for watching. Peace.